I'm Lawrence, and then thank you for Peter, and thank you, Mr. Guo, and thank you for everyone. And today, mainly, we have a short section. We try to share what we do in our projects, and this is very exciting moment, especially now in Europe. You need the energy, you need the food sources, security, and also health is very, very important. Okay, for different people to join, mainly to share with them what kind of technology we can do and how can we help European community and African and everywhere in the world. We are saving the world. So today mainly food, energy and health, and then we are having a very good international management team, and we use the latest metaverse and all the NFT, NFR technology with the virtual currency, so that all we call the labor equivalent money and carbon credit money can be flowed within our community. And distribution is very important. Distributed food source and distributed energy generation source are very important for future. Okay. The next one is the East and West culture mix, and also we have this health issue. So thank you. Andy, please take over.
Okay, thank you, Lawrence. Actually, I was an environmental consultant for 30 years, but my favorite is to build the IoT system, which is good for our next generation because we consume every day, but we forget to recycle at the same time to make our life happier, but we should take care of our future as well. So we better have a total solution for consumption, recycling, and then green living. I mean, initiative for our next generation. This is one of the recycle machine in Hong Kong, and that would be a integrated system of various technology because we built the machine with a big screen, AR, VR, and then with 5G technology inside that make this happen. We built the machine for multi-purpose in the residential area, schools, shopping mall, transportation, exchange, something like that, to fulfill our philosophy of sustainable development. That would be a very good total solution system to promote environmental, social impact, and economic benefit. Okay, that is what we want to do in Hong Kong, China, and then the rest of the world.
All right. What we'll be talking on is actually about frequency modulation. Some calls it frequency medicine. Young, we call it ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Disabilities like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, as well as what most have gotten because of this COVID, depression. The blood-brain barrier limits a lot of what we call medication or drugs. That's why psychotic or brain modulating drugs are very, very limited. Is the use of microcurrent or the use of PEMF, pulse electromagnetic fields, or music, which is sound, as well as visible or invisible light. You can call it therapy. Frequency modulation is non-invasive.
That our investment project starts in a small town in Germany and will further expand to all the member states of EU and to all parts of the world, including Africa and Asia. That's why our metaverse is named 7 Seas, as not only covers the land area, but also occupies the 7 seas. This mission in mind, our 7C metaverse, which include 2D to 3D e-commerce, GameFi means pay-to-earn platforms, and 3D education. Through the AR/VR hologram in sound and frequency therapy. Well, we have very good doctors, Yao and also Dr. James Watt as the experts to expand all this, exert their spiritual and physical energy, so that they can have an aims in life and return to the right path. Well, it sounds a miracle, isn't it? In addition, by participating in the play-to-earn game fund in the metaverse, young people can make money by obtaining NFR. We have MFRO, which can be generated by the recycling bottles. This will greatly increase the stability of Germany and any states we participate in it. It's a combination of sandbox, means space ownership, multi-level education. Well, we have several universities working with us in producing video lessons, including the use of AI, HI, and the like. Live KOL platform, including training and 2-to-2 e-commerce platforms, all are made in and produced in Germany, so that the poor economic growth of Germany can be much improved.
We are also the expert in a metaverse building. Talk about the energy issue, okay, in terms of clean energy generation, storage, and deployment. Thank you, Paul.
Energy is the foundation of all the economic development. We believe decentralized distributed power station is the answer. So we also have innovative green energy solutions to support our beliefs, like the vertical wind turbine and the metal hydrogen storage stations. Okay. This power unit then be controlled by a smart grid for the most efficient power management. The design of a modularized, containerized power supply unit.
Alan， 我加两句话。现在目前德国呢是在整个欧洲里面呢，风能是做的最多的国家。风能是一个德国很重要的东西，尤其是内陆风能，目前德国很重要。还有德国呢作为一个 leader， 就带这个东西可以带给全世界。那还有一些海岛啊，还有很多东西呢，在没有办法做 nuclear power， 就是核能，也不能做大水坝。也不能做风扫的情况下呢，分布式的这种发电方式是非常重要的。就我们的储存非常重要，而储存里面呢，利用氢能源、氢气来储存呢，是最有效的方法。目前没有比它更干净的方式。问题是氢会爆炸，我们这一部分呢，就让它不爆炸的情况下呢，目前最好的 technology 就在这边给大家来介绍一下。所以这一点是非常重要。当这些东西出现的时候呢，就不需要大的电网，也不会再有国家的安全，而且所有的电呢都会可以很有效的来做。
目前在高压上面的氢气的储存呢，变得非常不环保、不经济也不安全。那如何高效、有效的去储存氢气，变成目前在氢气使用上一个非常重要的课题，让这个材料透过类似像海绵的吸收，能够把氢气吸收到这个海绵体里面，然后去储存一个大量的氢气。目前我们已经能够做到非常有效的去把这个氢气储存起来，那它不但达到安全有效，而且也很容易操作，最重要它的成本也非常低，然后再加上它非常环保。它可以超过30年跟甚至50年，这个氢气都还是在里面，完全不会泄漏。出来的氢气的纯度又可以达到99.9999，6个9以上的纯氢。用海绵的吸收呢，我们是用非常低的压力去储存。目前在氢的这个储存瓶子里面，我们只会做到大概只有10个大气压左右的压力，那这个压力呢，几乎比发胶它的压力还要低，表示呢，它是一个非常安全的一个储存氢气的一个方式。我们用步枪子弹去打它，它都还不会爆炸。那因为这样子的方式呢，未来我们在做整个氢气的加氢动作、运氢的动作，或是除氢的动作，它变得非常非常的经济而有效。我们目前在制氢上面呢，它氢气1公斤的氢气目前的成本大概只有 $1不到的成本。可是现在大部分都可以卖到7块钱、8块钱，甚至超过10块钱。由于是因为他们加氢、运氢跟除氢呢产生的成本加总上去的。如果是用低压的方式来储存的话，它的氢气呢会低到只有2块钱，甚至2块钱不到。那这样子呢就可以让我们整个氢气的循环，也就是达到我们刚刚说的主题 Green Energy 的 Solution 能够做到非常有效而合理。而且氢气这样的载体呢，把电连接在一起，它也把燃料连接在一起。世界上没有一个载体可以把燃料、电能跟热能能够连接在一起的，唯有氢气是这样。如何有效的去储存它，就是我们目前最重要的课题。那我们这个技术团队已经把这样的一个氢气有效的储存呢，在技术上面达到，而且我们也已经把我们的成品做出来了。
在美国，就是US Department of Transportation 是唯一一个在美国呢可以储存氢气跟运送的一个批准的一个科技。那这个相信大家都知道的，只是无法 handle 氢的爆炸的部分。那既然把爆炸的部分都已经 handle 好，而且是低成本、低压，而且还是室温的处理，这一点非常重要。
The hydrogen staging on the market is big, so we want to make it smaller, like a container size. The container could set up the place outside a city or in a remote area. So it's a distributed idea. Our technology is to turn the power into hydrogen and to store in inside a material. Our technology, we store hydrogen in a long-term way, so you can store the power several years.
然后全球每年呢有1/3的食物呢是种出来之后会浪费掉的，所以在生产的部分的距离一定要跟市场呢要贴近，这块很重要。第二呢，原来农业项目呢的 CO2 的排放的碳排放呢是很大的，是除了烧这个生物燃料之外的第2大的地方。那因为他们翻土，那现在如何不翻土，用细菌来把所有的碳固化在土下面，然后让他们做得好，这块呢就是 Vanessa 这部分呢做得特别好，就 Agrigaya 的。第3部分呢，所有人都在讲食物 quality， 他们做的只是说我有100颗白菜，我选最好的2颗卖给你，比较贵，他并没有增加这个白菜本身它的营养还有各方面的东西。这一块呢也是 Agrigaya 重要的地方，做得非常的好，目前为止是几乎是全球做的最好。他刚刚拿了台湾最好的农业的金奖。
Agrigaya, we are running a biofarming solution. Our focus is on One Health. We are focused on 3 topics: One Health, food security, and the social impact. So what we try to provide is not only the very safety food, but also how to use the safety food to support the system or support the neighborhood or support everyone's health to achieve more the many great vision in the future. So what we can do, the solution is to combine with the greenhouse. Why we use greenhouse? Because the climate is keeping change right now. Every year it's getting hotter and hotter. And what we have some features. The first one is we have a greenhouse design. It is suitable and again can be customized for different region and support organic farming. Within our greenhouse, we use no pesticides and no chemical fertilizers. Everything is organic and even vegetarian. We don't use any animal oriented fertilizers. And the second one is it is an on-site zero emission. In our greenhouse, we can save a lot of water, save a lot of electricity use, and we can also combine with the solar power plant of use. And besides of that, with our patented, we have a very special underground irrigation system. It can save a lot of water and no tilting. No tilting is the very key issue from FAO because no tilting, we can fix the carbon dioxide into the soil. So it is very important for the appropriate agricultural method. And the third one is, as Laura just mentioned, it is very important to lower down the transportation carbon dioxide emission. if we can support it very close to the neighborhood, we can lower down the carbon dioxide emission during the transportation and then some food waste. It's very important for the food waste because more than 50% of the food waste is during the transportation. So what we can, but it is very hard to control if we separate the farm in different areas. So what we can do is combine the energy for AIoT, IoT, 5G, digital technology to do the two things. The first one is we use the AIoT to make the efficiency of the management more higher. If you use the AIoT, we can know, and we have the sensor, and we can know to monitor the whole growth procession. We can know many crucial points. If it grows good, how would be the harvest, how would be the fruit, and we can control all the productivity to make the prepare for the production. And the second one is if all the data are upload to the cloud, we can manage it here right now and almost with no time difference, and we can manage the farm, assist all the farmers, no matter where you are, in Europe, in Germany, in Italy, in Taiwan, in Philippines, or in Africa. So that's what we can do. And the most important one is the most special part of AgriGaia, our technology, is we can hire the nutrient and active ingredient component for the plants. It's just a graphic to demo. We can combine the underground irrigation system, and the underground irrigation system is very cute. It is inspired from the nature. It is no harm. It's a green technology. That's what we are doing. I just mentioned we combined the total solution is combined our greenhouse, the underground irrigation system, and we do a lot of control. We also combine the solar power plant. We can use the monitoring sensor to do the monitoring, and all the data, we can have the very on-time data to do the control, and the AI would be the next stage, and we can support it to manage all the different farming in different areas. That is what we can guarantee the performance. Mainly is because of the innovative underground irrigation system. It is an irrigation system that is inspired by human vessels. We take the human vessel, just like the way we do the irrigation. We provide not only the water, but also the nutrient to the food, to the root of the plant, but also to the microorganics. Microorganics is very important for the soil, especially the soil is very important if you want to achieve the One Health division, because only when the soil is healthy and the plant would be the healthy, then we would be a healthy person if we had those healthy food. And what we can see, there are a graphic on upper right. It's the demographic. It's if we put the nutrient to the microorganism will generate a lot of benefit food to the plants, and the plants can be a very strong and high active ingredient. So what we have to do the proof. It's just a very cute demographic. How we work, it is a real photo in our farm. That's a Chinese medicine. You can see the black one is made by recycled tire. So it's kind of we can do some recycled tire, and the water is dropped out like a sweat, very slightly. So we can save 70% of the water when you're doing the agriculture. So we provide the water precisely directly to the root, and the fertilizer are also lead directly to the root. So if you just put the food, the water into the root, and you can make a very high efficient of use. That's the reason why our plants are very strong. It's very strong and big and full of nutrients. So this in the theory of the plant is we enhance the transpiration to make the active component higher, and because we control the humidity of the air, so we can lower down the disease. That's the reason why we can make the plant very stronger, no matter what kind of plant use. And the evidence, we have sent two kind of herbs and the Chinese herb into the analysis for the third party here in Taiwan. The first one, the upper one, is called Salvia. It's kind of a very, very, very good Chinese herbs. It is good to your health and the circulatory system. And you can see that in Chinese CHP, we call that the Chinese Ferrosomia. It's a protocol that set up the standards. If you have the higher, there is a standard here. If the active component is higher than that, you can call you are a Chinese medicine. If lower than that, no, you are nothing. So during this, with our salvia of agriculture. So our salvia, we have 3 times higher than the standard. And with regard to the other one, you must be very, very familiar, is mint. We have a very higher ingredient of mint. It's from the kavon. We have tested a component of kavon. We can have more than 3 times higher compared to organic farming in open field. When Lawrence told us this kind of project will be applied in a very special town with a very historic town with a very historic pharmacy place, it is very exciting for us because we always try to make the Chinese medicine and the herbal together for the very good health. For example, what we can do is make the plants as highly active ingredient as possible. Then we can make the whole plant use to zero waste, to higher the value. So that not only to supply the food, we can also supply a sustainable business model or to generate a very higher social impact. We are very looking forward to if in the future we can cultivate Chinese herbal, and we can also cultivate the herbal here. Now, no matter in all the system. And the next one, not only for the technology, we also will make the place of ESG oriented. We can make this close to people, to let neighborhood, to the people to join in, to let them know the technology is not only far from them, it's to help. We can help it together to support their healthy life. One very important part is we focus on the soil recovery. Why soil recovery is very important is if you want to make the soil sustainable use. You want to keep the balance between the food, the quality, and the production of food. You need to cultivate enough food for the people. But at the same time, if you can keep the soil recovery, to keep the vitality of the soil, then you don't need to cut any tree anymore. So we can provide sufficient food and also keep the forest that stay there very healthy. Then that is kind of a One Health future. So that's what Agrigaia is doing, and this is what I want to propose the program to you.
So we mix the Chinese culture and Western technology, and we've been very, very good, successfully deployed, and over 20 years in Taiwan, and now it's time to deploy to the world. So they serve as a very good food source as well as a Chinese medicine, medical use. 它的所有的有效成分，在中药也好，普通菜也好，都比平常的蔬菜高很多。因为我们用这些比较干净的方式去种的话呢，植物产生反祖现象，所以这是世界上不只是干净的食物，还把我们的任何的植物，它回归在几万年前，在干净情况下，应该它原有的样子就回来了。对我们的食物的安全、食物的那个叫质量，还有种植的方法，这是一个非常大的突破。而且对我们的中医药也是非常重要，也同时把我们农业项目的 CO2， 就是那个碳排放减到0，而且把它全部固化进去，把土壤重新改造，让我们恢复以前的地球，所以这块非常重要。So what we do now is to integrate these few projects into like little sections. At the moment, I call them green energy station. I call them. Okay, we have a greenhouse. We have energy generation, and we have energy storage, and also we have a healthy treatment inside the power line grid. So without this distributed power generation method, what you do is you have a big power plant and you have all this high voltage grid. Those national grids, electricity grids, very, very expensive, hard to maintain, and hurt to everybody, those radiation, okay? And also just disaster when nuclear hazard and when a dam, got bombed and, just disaster. So instead of doing that, what we do is distributed energy is very, very important. And then we can also, by setting up this kind of unit, that's including the growing of the greens and storage of the energy, and if we put it everywhere, like every 100 kilometers, everywhere. So the agriculture revolution, energy revolution, and also it's very cheap much cheaper than the original way, and we best use of technology, and also will keep a lot of people employed. This is very important. And once you build all those power supply station in the highway, so the electric car and hydrogen car become available, it makes sense. So the whole thing gets together is very important. And then next level, we go back to the original. So with all these power and green bases, we need a good distribution network. And how do we get those young people to accept this new method? So through community cells, through metaverse cells. So that's where we come back. So the young people now, they will work and market inside. And also all the energy will come. And also we have Andy, we have the distribution unit, all those automatic machine recycling. So all these can integrate together so people can work in our greenhouse. They earn some virtual money, which can be used to purchase energy and food. So energy and food are the basic thing, very important for how they live. It's to let them be very stable in the world. So this is very important for every country, including African country, Southeast Asia, and even, the more advanced country like Germany, they also need it. So we're calling this internal economy of this metaverse, so that we can generate all this. So power, green, and also health integrate together into one project. And I think I just do the thank you for everybody. So each part, we probably get the best team in the world.
大家通過呢個視頻會議啊，我覺得就好有意義嘅。從發展嚟講啦我覺得係應該係好有前途嘅。我哋依家咧，我哋確定個計劃咧就係一個大健康啦，養老啊、康養啊，呢係一個大嘅方向。第二個方面咧，喺國內係農業方面，牽涉到種藥同埋深加工同埋冷鏈呢個產業鏈嚟講咧，係我哋重點要投資嘅。咁咧就話喺呢方面嚟講咧，我哋大家配合嚟做就好有前途嘅。第三方面嚟講咧，就係環保方面啦。剛才又傾到啦呢個氫氣嘅問題幾方面嘅能源問題，咁呢方面咧，都係我哋要投資嘅。咁咧喺呢方面咧，我就表個態啦。總之我哋呢方面咧，因為我哋主要咧就係搞從事呢個國際金融㗎嘛，所以咧就話喺投資方面嚟講咧，凡事咧就話呢啲project好嘅，我哋大家嚟合作，講比較好聽啲就話大家有呢個緣分啦，就一齊嚟做，所以咧我就好有信心㗎啦，我哋就加快速度嚟啟動呢啲項目。
好，咁今日我哋就到此為止啦，結束。
Very good, excellent,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Very good.
Very good.
Wonderful.